And with that said, let's move on to the next category, which is obvious. Best Actor this time in a leading role. And the nominees are Christian Bale for Vice, Willem Dafoe for Aquaman. Oh wait, no, At Eternity's Gate, not Aquaman. Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. And Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. So it's kind of obvious that the only one I haven't seen is Willem Dafoe and At Eternity's Gate, and I don't think many people saw that movie because it was playing nowhere around me. I didn't even know what that movie was until I saw the nominations come out about a month ago. And so that's out of the way. So I think this was between Rami Malek and Christian Bale because they're both getting the most buzz. And Christian Bale, even though he hasn't won, because Rami Malek's been the one winning, I do think he's been getting lots of buzz. And I do think that the one thing that brings Rami Malek down is Bryan Singer, who has had lots of controversy around him right now. But out of all these performances, Rami Malek is hands down my favorite. Because you could say when you watch Vice that is Dick Cheney, that is not Christian Bale, and I totally agree with him. But I just feel like Rami Malek had a... Don't get me wrong, every actor and actress has a tough task ahead of them of playing this whatever character they're playing. But I think Rami Malek had just such a tough task of embodying Freddie Mercury on stage, his mannerisms, everything. You believed you were watching Freddie Mercury come back from the dead and performing on stage. You did not think that was Rami Malek. You just felt it. It was like somebody coming back from the dead, and it was great. That is the reason. Even people who don't like Bohemian Rhapsody loved Rami Malek's performance. So I think he is. I think he's going to end up winning, and I hope he wins because he is fantastic in that movie. Now, as for Bradley Cooper, I really liked him in A Star Is Born. I actually liked his performance a little bit more than Lady Gaga, and I thought he was brilliant in that movie. But I just don't think he's going to win. I think he's third. I think it's Rami Malek, Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, and then I would go Viggo Mortensen and then Willem Dafoe. I really liked his performance in the movie, but compared to Christian Bale and Rami Malek, I just prefer those performances over his, but he definitely had a really good performance. Viggo Mortensen, I loved Viggo Mortensen in Green Book, but he wasn't even my favorite performance in the movie. Mahershala Ali was my favorite performance in the movie, and that's nothing. That's not to bring his performance down. His performance in Green Book was phenomenal. He made me laugh in the movie a lot. He had good dramatic scenes. I loved his character, and again, comparing him to Christian Bale and especially Rami Malek, I prefer their performances over Viggo Mortensen. And I just think Rami Malek is going to end up taking the cake slightly over Christian Bale. I won't be surprised if Christian Bale ends up winning, or maybe even a Bradley Cooper, but I think Rami Malek is going to end up taking the cake, especially if he's winning every single award right now. So now let's move on to another big category, and that is Best Director. And the nominees are Adam McKay for Vice, Paweł Pawlikowski for Cold War, Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman, and Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. Okay, so Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman. If you've seen my top 10 movies of 2018, you would know that BlacKkKlansman was one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it made it to my top 5. And what Spike Lee did with that movie is fantastic. It is brilliant what he did. The way he balanced this dark era in American history with the KKK, and he actually he made funny moments, and that worked. They didn't, they weren't just shoehorned there and bring down the movie. It enhanced the movie actually. And then the performances you brought out of John David Washington and Adam Driver, I thought were it was just fantastic what he did with that movie. And then Adam McKay for Vice, I liked Vice. There's just some things that he did with the story that Adam McKay did with the story that I was not a big fan of. So that kind of brings him down, and I don't think he's gonna end up winning, anyways. I mean, I liked what he did with the movie, but it just wasn't my favorite. Then Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite. You know, I wasn't a big fan of The Favorite, but I did. Again, I liked the shots that he chose for the movie, a lot of the creative stuff. But I just wasn't a big fan of the movie. So that brings it down. Then Paweł Pawlowski, you know, I haven't seen Cold War yet, so I have no say on that one. Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. I do think he's gonna end up winning, and I won't. I think Spike Lee should win, but next to him is Alfonso Cuarón, so I will not be upset if he wins, and I do think he will win. If I was to bet $1 million, I do think Alfonso Cuarón will take the cake, and I would put Spike Lee second, and then Adam McKay, and then Yorgos Lanthimos, and then Powell last. So with that said, let's move on to the granddaddy of them all, Best Picture, and the nominees are Vice, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Green Book, A Star is Born, Roma, Black Panther, and The Favorite. Okay, so if you were to see my top 10 list, you would know that my favorite out of all these nominations was Black Klansman. And now looking back at the nominees, I still believe that Black Klansman is still my favorite out of this list. So let's run it down right now. Vice. I don't see Vice winning. I just don't see like the movie overall. Like take out Christian Bale. I just don't see it getting enough buzz to win Best Picture. And then A Star is Born. I think A Star is Born has a shot. I don't think it will end up winning, but just all the nominations going around, all the buzz going around for Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, even Shallow's the song. I see it having like a solid 30% chance of winning. I don't think it will, but will I get upset if it does? Probably not. But then Bohemian Rhapsody, I don't see Bohemian Rhapsody winning. I love Bohemian Rhapsody. I loved it more than A Star is Born. And I just don't see it winning again because of the Bryan Singer stuff. I think that brings it down because if Bohemian Rhapsody ends up winning, even though I don't think Singer will end up being at the Oscars, I think it'll be very controversial. So I don't think the Oscars will want to do that, especially with what they've been doing lately. Green Book, I love Green Book, but I just don't see it, like, I just don't see it winning. I think it has a very good shot of winning Best Picture, but I think there's another movie on this list that has just a way better shot of winning Best Picture, and I think Green Book has, like, probably a solid 25 to 30% chance of winning, so yes, it does have a chance of winning Best Picture, especially with all the performances of Mahershala Ali and Viggo Mortensen being buzzed about. I, I mean, I haven't seen it winning any awards, so that's a big thing. So that's probably part of the reason why I don't think it would win. And then Black Klansman, I love Black Klansman so much. And if it wins, I'll be so happy if it does, because that's probably my favorite movie out of this whole entire list. What Spike Lee did with that movie is great. The performances are phenomenal. I love the style that Spike Lee brought to that movie. and if it wins, I'd be so happy. I just don't see it winning again because there's this little movie called Roma that I do think will win, especially with all like the way the the Hispanic representation within that movie. I think really says a lot. Now I liked Roma a lot. I didn't love it, but I really did like it, and part of that was a Hispanic representation in the movie, and I just think this movie just has lots of push behind it. Now, yes, some Academy members may say, "Oh, it's a Netflix movie." I mean, does that make a difference? To them, yes. To me, it doesn't, because a story is a story, and I really enjoyed Roma. It's not my favorite movie on this list, but I just think with all the push it's had and the awards it's won lately. I mean, it hasn't won every single award, but it's won some. But I just see it having the bigger push, and Alfonso Cuarón is just getting so much buzz around him right now. I just see that one winning right now. Black Panther, I don't think it has a shot of winning. I mean, every movie on this list has a chance of winning. Every movie nominated for Best Picture has a chance of winning. Because I'm sure there's not one person that voted in for that movie. And I'm pretty sure there's people that nominated for Black Panther. And I mean, I love Black Panther. It didn't make it on my top 10 list of last year. And what Ryan Coogler did with that movie is phenomenal. It had a great performance. Actually won Best Ensemble Performance, which I have no complaint about because all the performances together were great. And I just see it having a low shot of winning. Why? Because, I mean, it's a comic book movie. I mean, I'm surprised a comic book movie got nominated for Best Picture. And I'm glad seeing the Oscars change it up a bit, even though it's had its problems. I'm glad seeing a comic book movie being nominated for Best Picture. Should have been The Dark Knight, but I won't get into that right now. But I just don't see Black Panther winning. The favorite, I think it has like I don't know, it has like a 20% chance of winning. It definitely has a lot of buzz right now, especially with Olivia Colman, Emma Stone, and Rachel Weisz. So it has a shot of winning, but again, I think Roma's going to end up taking the cake. And if I were to rank these movies on which one's going to end up winning, I would go number 8, Bohemian Rhapsody, just because of that controversy with Bryan Singer. Black Panther, because it's a comic book movie, and I don't think there's going to be... I think there's still going to be a lot of people that are going to... A lot of Academy members that are going to say, oh, it's a comic book movie, and, you know. And then Vice, I don't know, I don't see Vice winning out of all of them. Even though Christian Bale's getting lots of buzz right now for his performance, and I don't blame them at all because I love his performance in there. Black Klansman, I think I would go number 5. I hope it wins so much. The favorite, I would go number 4. Green Book, number 3. And then number 2 is Stars Born. Obviously, number 1, I would go Roma. And we will see what happens on the Oscars. It's going to be an interesting show, especially with all the things going on right now around the Academy. And with that said, guys, thank you for joining me on this special video of Oscar predictions. We will see what happens. It's going to be a very interesting show. Will an Avengers trailer show up? We don't know. Will a host show up? We don't know. But hey, if they need a host right now, you know, call me. You know, I'll compromise. But anyways, thank you for joining me on this fine episode that we had today. And look out for the next video or review. And peace.